Hello? Yeah. So now next part of your EPF. That is your non-refundable advances. Now there are few of the advances which are been given to an employee during his few of the instances, and those particular instances can be classified to be as a amount which are non-refundable. Now first is your amount of your marriage. Now a salaried person can withdraw for self, sibling and children. He or she should however have completed a minimum of 7 years of service for to withdraw 50% of his contribution price in his career. यानी खुद की शादी के लिए, बच्चों की शादी के लिए, या for any of the siblings की, your brother or sisters की शादी के लिए, he can withdraw an amount from the EPF account. Now his contribution should be at least minimum period of 7 years. अगर उसने 7 years का contribution किया है तभी वो जा करके withdraw कर सकता है. And the withdrawal amount cannot be more than 50% of the contribution. Second situation, that was your first marriage. Second was your medical treatment. A salaried person can withdraw up to either 6 times of his or his monthly salary and to total corpus towards the contribution towards the medical treatment of self, parents, spouse and children. Again, जहाँ पे अगर medical treatment के लिए उसको पैसे की जरूरत होगी, he can withdraw that amount of 6 times. Now that particular amount can be of the 6 times of the monthly salary, and the total amount can be withdrawn for either for his medical services or for the parents or for spouse or your children. Spouse means you say or husband or any of the wife. Now in case the contribution or the purchase of a plot, अगर मैंने कोई नया घर खरीदा है या मैंने अपने घर का renovation करवाया, then in that case, if a salaried person wishes to withdraw from the EPF account for his purpose, for this particular purpose of either construction or the purchase of the plot, the property must be registered. There are few of the condition. मैं घर के लिए loan from the EPF account से पैसे withdraw कर सकती हूँ, but सबसे पहले that particular plot or that particular construction should be in the name of the spouse or jointly in his own name or in the joint name with the spouse. A minimum of 5 years contribution, 5 years service has to be required for the withdrawal of that particular amount. Now, that particular amount can be 24 times of the salary of the account holder. If my salary is suppose 100 rupees a month, 1000 rupees a month, let's take 1000 as a month, then in that case 1000 into 24 times, that much amount I can withdraw. 1000 into 24, it is 24,000 I can withdraw. For construction of the house, it is your 24,000 is the amount, or the 24 times is the amount. In case of the plot, purchase of the plot, 36 times of the salary of the account holder can be withdrawn. Now it is important to be noting that the withdrawal for the said purpose can be done only once during the service of an account holder. यानी पूरी सर्विस में वो एक ही बार घर कंस्ट्रक्शन करेगा नहीं चलेगा, बार वो अपना प्लॉट कंस्ट्रक्शन करेगा वो नहीं चलेगा, तो once it is allowed. Next is home loan repayment. अगर मैंने घर लिया है उसका लोन रिपेमेंट करना है, then in that case if a salaried person wishes to withdraw from the EPF account for the purpose of home loan repayment, the house should be registered again in his name, in spouse name or jointly in both the person's name. A minimum of 10 years. Over there it was for 5 years. Over here it is minimum of 10 years of service is required to withdraw up to 36 times of the salary of the account holder. Next, if I want to do house renovation or alteration, मुझे घर में कोई कंस्ट्रक्शन करना है या चेंजेस करना है, if a salaried person wishes to withdraw from the EPF account for the purpose of the house renovation or alteration, the house should be registered again in the name of yourself or in the name of the spouse or in the name of your jointly. Now over here a minimum of 5 years service has to be required to be done, and the contribution can be withdrawn up to 12 times the monthly remuneration of an account holder. This is the criteria if I want to go ahead for your withdrawal of the EPF account. Now let's talk about the next part, your miscellaneous provision. Next part, that is your employee pension scheme. जो हमने सबने सुना होगा, पेंशन क्या होता है? a monthly payment given after reaching your superannuation or retirement. Now, who gets the pension through EPS? सबसे पहले all the employees of the organized sector can avail the pension provided he or she contributes towards the EPF. अगर मैंने EPF के towards अगर contribution दिया है तो मुझे फ्यूचर में उसका बेनिफिट मिल सकता है from your pension scheme. Now the pension scheme is clubbed with the employee provident fund. यानी EPF जैसे अकाउंट ओपन होता है मुझे EPS employee pension scheme automatically मुझे मिल जाता है. The government has now raised the minimum of ₹1,000 per month will now be granted as a pension to employees of the organized sector. अभी कैसा हो गया है कि अगर आपने EPF के थ्रू कंट्रीब्यूशन किया होगा, अब मैंने I have reached to the age of my old age and all, तो then in that case वहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट ने आपको बोल दिया कि ओके 1,000 per month आपको पेंशन मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. That is because you have maintained a EPF account. Now, what is the guide to understand how the pension scheme of 1995 is working on? Now, ये pension scheme क्या बोलता है कि employees are automatically enrolled in the EPS scheme only if their name is being registered in the EPF account. EPF scheme. यानी जो चीज मैंने अभी आपको समझाई कि अगर आपका EPF अकाउंट होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली आपको EPS की पेंशन स्कीम ऑटोमेटिकली मिलना शुरू हो जाएगी. Now the central government क्या बोलता है? Also contributes to an employee provident employee pension scheme along with the employer contribution of 8.3. यहाँ पे EPF के अंदर क्या होता है कि एम्प्लॉयर अपनी तरफ से 8.3 भी कंट्रीब्यूट करता है प्लस एट द सेम टाइम गवर्नमेंट भी कंट्रीब्यूट करती है 8.33% ऑफ योर सैलरी. Now over here the contribution done by the employer and the employee is same, but the contribution done by the central government is your 1.16% of the employee's salary. But over here the contribution made to the EPS by the employees does not generate any interest. हमेशा याद रखना कि सिंस सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपनी तरफ से भी आपको कोई पैसा देता है, इसलिए वो क्या बोल देता है पहले से, लिसन मैं कंट्रीब्यूट दूंगा पर आपको उस पर कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलेगा. सो द कंट्रीब्यूशन डन बाय द एम्प्लॉयर एंड द एम्प्लॉय एंड एवर एट द सेम टाइम बाय द गवर्नमेंट, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो. So that is a contribution of 8.33 from the employer, 8.33 from the employee and 1.16% from the salary of the workers or salary of the wages from the government also. Now at the same time, the eligible service is calculated in the intervals of 6 months. यानी आपको कैलकुलेशन कैसे किया जाता है? जिस दिन आप विड्रॉल करोगे तो कैसा होता है, सपोज आपने अगर 10 years 7 months अगर आपने वर्क किया है तो योर कैलकुलेशन विल बी ऑन द 11 months पीरियड, सॉरी 11 years पीरियड. और अगर आपने 10 years 4 months अगर वर्क किया गया है तो योर कंट्रीब्यूशन विल बी कैलकुलेटेड एज पर 10 years completely. No 4 months or no 7 months period will be calculated. If it is less than 6 months, it will be in the previous year. If it is more than 6 months, it will be in the next year. That's how it will be. If an employee has had a service of more than 6 months, it is rounded up to the next year, and less than 6 months, it is rounded up to the previous year. For example, if an employee has had a service of 18 years and 8 months, then the service will be calculated of 19 years. And if the employee has contributed towards 18 years and 4 months, the service will be considered for 18 months. Now the pension received is for the lifelong. जब तक आप जिंदा हो आपको मिलता जाएगा. आपके मरने के बाद passes on to the spouse and after that to the 2 children upon the employee's death. यानी ये pension scheme is beneficial to you. Lifelong you will get the benefit and after that your death will be given to your spouse and to your children. Now the employees can receive only pension from the EPS and are eligible only after completion of 10 years of service. अच्छा EPF में क्या था, क्राइटेरिया था, किसी में 7, किसी में 5, किसी में 10. But in case of your EPS, it specifically been said if you have completed 10 years of service and must have attended the age of 50 and years and for the early pension and for the 58 years for the regular pension, then only you will be eligible for getting the EPS. Otherwise आपको नहीं मिलेगा. आपने सिर्फ 2-4 साल काम किया उसके बाद बोलोगे पेंशन दो, नहीं मिलेगा. Minimum service of 10 years and you should have attended the age of 50 years. In case of special cases, आपकी early age and in your regular cases it is 58 years only after which you get the pension. Now, it shall be the responsibility of the principal employer. Again, यहाँ पे भी employer अपने आप को check करता रहेगा to pay the contribution payable to the EPS, जो EPS और EPS fund और EPF fund, that is Employees Provident Fund, by himself in respect of the employees direct employed by him and also in respect of the employees employed by or on the contractual basis. यानी मेरी ड्यूटी है एज एम्प्लॉयर, एम्प्लॉय बेचारे गरीब है, उनको कुछ पता नहीं है, दे आर illiterate and educated, that's why over there they will not be held responsible for anything, but I will be responsible to check the whether the contribution is going again and again or not. Now what is the benefit? जनरली आप लोग पूछोगे मैम बेनिफिट क्या होता है, अगर सपोज मैं मर गया तो APF को तो बेनिफिट ही नहीं मिलेगा. Over here the benefit to the family on the death of the member, अब उसको क्या बेनिफिट? The pension as he would have received on the date of the retirement or on the date of the death, the same amount they will be receiving. That is the first benefit. Now, in case of the such widow, pension would have been payable under, as early as possible, under the family pension scheme. जितना जल्दी हो सके widow को वो amount मिलना चाहिए. Rupees 450 per month, whichever is highest, in addition to 25% of the 25% of the widow pension with minimum of rupees 150 for each child not exceeding 2 children will be paid until the youngest child has reached to the age of 25 years. Yani over here now this particular amount has now been increased, but it is still generally stated कि 450 per month whichever is higher, जो भी actual amount है या 450 is the actual amount will be paid. उसके अलावा 25% of the wage widow pension of amount भी मिलता है आपको, जो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से आपको एडिशनल मिलता है, प्लस 150 towards each child की तरफ से child के लिए मिलेगा, maximum up to 2 children until the age the youngest child is reaching to the age of 25 years. You will keep on getting this particular benefit of your pension or towards your EPF. Now, next is your concept of your employee deposit linked insurance scheme. That is your 1976. इसको और एक चीज बोला जाता है EDLI. अब ये this it is deposit linked. It is something relevant to your contribution towards the insurance or some का linked fund के तरफ से बोला जाता है. Now this scheme was launched in the year 1976 and it applies to all the employers. Again, they are also attached to your EPF account. EPF provision जिसको है उसको EPS भी मिलता है, EDLI भी मिलता है. Now, this point of this scheme is to provide insurance coverage to their employees. So, जैसे ही अगर आपको पेंशन आपने लिया, आपने EPF लिया, वैसे ही आपको automatically insurance भी मिल जाएगा. Now, the subscription to the EDLI is clubbed to the link of your EPF scheme and the EPS. EPF is Employee Provident Fund and EPS is Employee Provident Scheme. All the employees who subscribe to the EPF are automatically attached to the EDLI. While the employment cannot choose either of the three, मुझे एक आता नहीं, मुझे तीनों पैकेज में मिल रहा है, सब कुछ एक साथ सब्सक्राइब हो रहा है, and the schemes are transferable when the employee shift the job. यानी सपोज आज मैंने यहाँ से जॉब छोड़ा तो मुझे दूसरे एम्प्लॉय बस गया, the same document automatically ये अकाउंट keep on continuing till the time I'm working. Why? Because this contribution is done directly to your account which is being taken care by the government. And that is the reason यहाँ पे इसका फंड जो है आपको बेनिफिट 100% मिलेगा ही मिलेगा. No person can take the advantage of this particular contribution. Now, how much is the contribution towards the EDLI? अभी EDLI में तो कुछ पैसा जाएगा, तो how much? While the employee enjoys the benefit under the insurance coverage under the EDLI scheme, he or she does not contribute directly to the contribution of the employer. यानी यहाँ पे एम्प्लॉयर को अपने इंश्योरेंस के लिए खुद कुछ नहीं डालना है एम्प्लॉय को, बट द एम्प्लॉयर इज गोइंग टू कंट्रीब्यूट. एम्प्लॉयर कितना देगा? 0.5% और मैक्सिमम ऑफ रुपीज ऑफ 75 रुपीज पर पर्सन के हिसाब से वो कंट्रीब्यूट करेगा, बिकॉज ऑलरेडी वो बेचारा EPF के दे रहा है, आपके अदर कॉम्पनसेशन पे दे रहा है, तो हर जगह पे से उसको पैसे नहीं, बट दिस इज द मिनिमम अमाउंट of 0.5% of your wages or your 75 rupees whatever is maximum. Now, what and what are the special features or the benefits of the EDLI? अब मुझे क्यों चाहिए? अगर एट टाइम्स ऐसा भी तो हो सकता है ना कि एम्प्लॉयर ने खुद का ही कोई इंश्योरेंस ले रखा हो जिसमें सारे एम्प्लॉइज अगर ऑलरेडी इंश्योर्ड है, तो देन इन दैट केस व्हाट? तो claim amount under the EDLI scheme is 30 times the salary. जो भी आप claim amount कितना रहेगा 30 times of your salary. Suppose मेरा salary is 100, तो उसका 30 times कितना होगा? So that is your 3000 rupees. Now salary is calculated, that is dearness plus your basic salary. Now there will also be a bonus of rupees 1,50,000 which also will be payable at the same term of the claim amount. यानी एक और बोनस अमाउंट आपको दी जाती है EDLI में, that is 1,50,000 के आसपास. So the quantum of coverage is directly linked to the salary of the employee. इसका एम्प्लॉयर से कोई लेना देना नहीं है. EPF, EPS इसका तीनों का कोई लेना देना नहीं. It is directly maintained by the government. Now the premium payable is similar to all the employees. Be it मेरा एम्प्लॉई 10,000 earn कर रहा है या 5,000 या 1,000, all are going to get the same benefit. Age and other individual factors do not affect any employee's eligibility to cover under this scheme. So this is the best benefit कि यहाँ पर कोई भी एज ग्रुप का मेरा एम्प्लॉय क्यों ना हो, सबको ये इक्वल बेनिफिट मिलने वाला ही है, because this benefit is given by the government. The contribution towards this scheme is 0.5% of the employee's salary is payable to the employer. यानी इसका एम्प्लॉय की सैलरी का 0.5% is payable by the employer, जो भी अमाउंट है. Now a payment are made by the employer to the provident fund authorities. डायरेक्टली यहाँ पे किसी और को नहीं पे करना है, जबकि प्रोविडेंट फंड अथॉरिटी जहाँ पे EPF मेंटेन किया, EPS मेंटेन किया, वहीं पे डायरेक्टली अकाउंट में चला जाएगा. Under this act, the employer can opt of the contribution of the scheme if the, अभी मैंने जो आपको पूछा था कि सपोज एम्प्लॉयर ने ऑलरेडी मेंटेन किया गया है, then in that case what? If the employer has already maintained or opt for a personal insurance or better insurance policy, then in that case there is no requirement of this. In lieu of EDLI, the employer can also opt to any life insurance corporation scheme or any other such benefit. See, it generally says only one thing. आपका बेनिफिट देना जरूरी है एम्प्लॉइज को, उनकी लाइफ को सिक्योर करना जरूरी है. आप किसी भी वे में करो, इट इज ऑल अप टू यू, बट एज एन एम्प्लॉयर, एज द ओनर ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर फैक्ट्री एंड इंडस्ट्री, इट इज योर ड्यूटी टू लुक आफ्टर whether they are getting the security or not. With this, we have even finished up with the concept of your employee provident fund, pension scheme, and PPF. Thank you.